Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Well, here we are. It's time for another edition of Shots.
Now, something happened to mine.
Oh, now you got feedback. I hear feedback.
I'm hearing myself now, I think. Okay.
All right, overall here.
All right.
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
We're good to go now.
Let's go.
You know what they call that?
False start?
False start. False start, number 67 offense. Who is that? Going back to your day.
Pat down. Oh, no.
Phil Posderic.
Posderic? No, I thought he was
that
a
is
70.
not
75.
That is
Okay.
not his number.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. That was Pat Donovan, I think.
Yeah, Pat is 67.
That's
Shame
exactly
on
right.
putting
Hey,
that on Pat Donovan.
here we are. It's a fabulous football Friday after a Thursday night that was a later start than normal, but I would say it was a most unlikely finish to
That's crazy.
the game last night.
Crazy.
Toes count.
They do. That's right.
When I looked at the all the angles, I could have talked myself into saying it was in. You know, based on all the angles except that last one.
Down the line?
Down the line.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Your Honor, irrefutable evidence right
Because
here that this was a touchdown.
and they needed irrefutable evidence
sure did.
in order to overturn
all the other
call
angles
on the
I
field.
could have said, he could be in.
So
it'd be tough to overturn. I'll put it
So
that
the
way.
Chiefs won that game because it was a primetime game and they had the extra angles.
Man.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you
More
have
cameras.
They all have
That's what I mean, the extra camera
But they
angles.
always have down the line.
Yeah, but they don't have as many camera angles on a noon game on a Sunday as what they do on a
needed
Thursday night game on
everyone.
NBC. Yep.
Everyone.
Yep. So
I was listening on the radio broadcast.
I was too. I was driving home. and
Oh, so
listening.
you heard the guy
Yeah.
go, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
So you were listening to the Chiefs broadcast?
Whatever was on.
Now, the national radio broadcast
Yeah.
had Kevin Harlan.
Yeah, that's
I
what
was
I had.
actually listening to the Chiefs broadcast.
Okay.
And I don't recall the touchdown. And so it must have been
Yeah,
Kevin
it was
Harlan.
Kevin Harlan. Yeah.
And the Chiefs broadcast wasn't as definitive at first,
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, it definitely was. He may have been listening to the Ravens broadcast, actually, because it's a Ravens touchdown.
No, because
Okay.
whatchamacallit, the quarterback was the analyst.
Warner, Kurt Warner.
Kurt
Yeah.
Warner. Yeah. And Warner kind of said, we better
Hold
wait
on a
on
second.
that.
Hold on a second. And sure enough, wow, what a finish. And what a final few plays it was.
It didn't have to come down to that.
Uh-huh.
It did not have to come down
How
to
did you see I'm looking at the toe on the sideline right there, the sideline angle. How did you see the second to last play that could have easily been a touchdown pass to Zay Flowers?
He blew it.
Is there anything on the receiver there?
Well, you could have said that Lamar was waiting on him to just
Throttle down,
check it here.
That's what I thought that maybe, and I was giving Lamar the benefit of the doubt on that. Okay, and it's all bang bang.
And
so he came clear on the back of the end zone. He kept running through, and that maybe Lamar. And I went back and froze it. And okay, when he released the ball, it could have been that Lamar was thinking he was going to sit down in the end zone.
Right. And he
Well,
kept
what
going.
Lamar should have seen was the two guys that was following the receiver inside.
Right.
So he's lucky it wasn't intercepted.
Yeah.
I mean, he had them beat obviously pretty badly because he threw it a couple of feet behind them, and they still didn't have a chance. The defender still didn't have a chance of the ball, but the receiver didn't either.
So the thing that I wondered about it, was he just that inaccurate on the pass, was it?
He
or
was.
it-
Well, he could have, as you said, he must have thought that he was going to
that's why I
throttle
was giving
down.
him the benefit of the doubt.
He didn't see the two defenders coming because they were beaten pretty badly.
But the thing, Lamar's footwork is all over the place anyway, which is why there are inaccuracies in his passing game. But
that's
to that
what
end,
helped him. That's what helped him create the space.
and that's
to
what
throw
makes
the
him
ball.
even. But that's what even makes him greater as a quarterback.
Yep.
His ability to use his feet to get in position to even make
And
a throw.
create space.
Well, we can't have total perfection where his feet are exactly perfect on
That's
every
a lot
throw.
of stuff
That's
going
right.
on from head to feet.
right.
A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
in
and
there.
by the way, we're getting Ravens here in 2 weeks.
I know.
So we were scouting ahead right there.
I thought they did. I really thought they didn't use Henry the way they should. Mm-hmm. I thought early on they kept trying to establish more Lamar than they did.
Well, the whole game.
I don't understand.
He's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt.
And I was saying that too.
Because they're
he's
called,
running too
they're
much.
called plays. When
And
they were doing those sweeps, they got two offensive linemen pulling to the left, and he's just running right behind them.
And not to mention the scramble off of not being able to find someone down the field. And so you're setting up. You have play action passes, but you never ran the ball. You can't have play action, successful play action without
play
actually
fake?
giving it to one of the best running
You
backs
can't
in
play
the
action
game.
to yourself,
That's right. That's right.
I'm going to
It was
Well, when you
weird that
got
they did not use him well
when
at
you got
all.
a guy like Chris Jones on the other side who's destroying the offensive line.
Wow.
It's tough to do much.
He's pretty good,
The
isn't
game
he?
plan gets thrown out,
So here you go. Back to defense, right? Back to defense.
Yeah.
Mahomes has a defense now.
Yeah.
That's scary. I mean, he had it last year. That's why they won the Super Bowl. He's got defense now.
Yep.
And when you saw what was going on last night, as good as Mahomes is, that Baltimore defense gave Lamar plenty of chances to win the game. They stopped Kansas City on some key drives that allowed your offense to get another chance. So that's the luxury that you have in Baltimore. A defense that's going to give this offense so many chances to win the game.
Isn't it amazing, though, in this league, how a toenail can change the entire narrative of the next week for two football teams?
Crazy, bro. That was crazy. So crazy.
Wow.
That was very dramatic stuff.
Yeah, it was. And I said off the top, the most unlikely, playing off of Isaiah Likely finishes, but actually it was a very likely finish because that's the way it is in the NFL.
Didn't he get hurt?
Like 2 plays before that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm like, where'd he come from? I thought he went to the locker room or something. He didn't. He just went to the sidelines.
Yep.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yep.
That was a lot to show some guts.
All right. We're getting you ready for 3:25 on Sunday at Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland. The Cowboys and the Browns. And let's start with the quarterback.
Okay.
There's apparently on the radio show this morning, Jerry Jones is not saying much as far as not saying anything.
No update.
There's no update and there's no want to talk about it. Now, a couple of weeks ago, in fact, let me go to Twitter on this because we have on Twitter, someone tweeted this. Seth Katoon on Twitter said, Mickey Spagnola and Bill Jones said on Mick Shots right after the CD deal was done that when Jerry goes communications silent, something is on the way. And to that, I say, here we go. So what do you think? Is something up?
Dak kind of changed his tune yesterday also, didn't he?
That's right. Yep.
So maybe they're
Here we go.
Maybe they're close.
The jig is up.
By 3:25 on Sunday, could Dak Prescott be the highest paid player in NFL history?
Will he make
I've thought all along that the CD deal would get done when they got back to Frisco, and that happened. And I've thought all along that a Dak deal will get done before the season opener.
and I continued to have my doubts. But we'll see. Yeah. I just want to see how they structure it, because they can't dump more money into this year.
Oh, Spags, details.
Yeah, right. Man. Yeah, I know.
Talking about?
I know. I got you. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Nobody wants to listen to details.
That's when you do a Mahomes deal. You do like Mahomes was 10 years, $500 million, something like that, where they just got all these years to work with now to put football teams together going forward. It was funny yesterday. We do our live shots, the local TV live shots up in the Atrium area, and Ed Werder has been hired by Channel 8.
Yes.
Joe Trahan will be an analyst there or whatever. So Joe and Ed are doing their live shot, and I'm about to do mine. And they went on in 3 or 4 minutes, and then I still hadn't gone on my live shot yet. And so they got done with theirs. And then I said, acting as if I was live on the air, I said, that's right. It's the largest contract in team sports history, 10 years, $600 million for Dak Prescott. And then I looked over at Ed and Joe, and they were like, huh? So I got
That's
him.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm sure you're just a card, guy. I'm sure you're just a card.
That's good.
So why not? 10 years, $600 million. Let's just do that, and we'll be done with it.
And then, and have the 4 years of it voidable, right?
There you go. And you can dump all the money you want to over the next decade. And
right.
So there you go.
And you don't have to pay it.
Okay.
Not guaranteed.
Yeah.
I hope it happens.
Did you get guaranteed money?
Please, get out of here. The only thing we tried to be creative, and we started dealing with annuities. That was the most creative. Doug Cosby was the first one to do it, to put annuity into it. That way we could share in the funding of that annuity as team and player. And so it looks good on paper, because the amount of the annuity is added to the contract, but it's really not. But it's a good optic for team
for an
and
agent.
Player. Yeah, and an agent.
But does the annuity ever mature then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Well, there we go.
That was back in the day. That was as creative as you could get in that regard.
You can't do the Bobby Bonilla contract.
My God! I remember that. 25 million, was it?
Well, he gets. It was like 20 years after every July 1st. He gets $1 million for like 25 years.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of a Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei does it.
Yeah,
that's his structure.
With that 8. Whatever it
you
was, because he wasn't
with,
going to start getting the money until he finished playing.
And before we did annuities, it was Lloyd's of London.
Yeah, that's
Lloyd's of London contract, and that would be your way
insurance
to insurance for the player.
Well, he didn't want his money until he moved out of California and didn't have to pay all that state income tax.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Well, we'll see.
Creativity.
But again, as I pointed out when we were in the hallway, he's under contract, so it's not like, if he doesn't get this done by the season opener, he's not playing. He's under contract, so we'll see where it goes.
There would be, I'm thinking if you're already playing under the current contract, you got some peace of mind as far as your financial future.
I mean, divide. So he's owed $29 million in the base salary this year. Divide that by 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's per game.
Yeah. Per game.
Yep.
You're getting almost $2 million and a half a game.
$1.5 million. Yeah, it's not too.
Not bad.
It's almost what Everson gets a show here on the show.
Yeah.
All right. What's a cause for concern on this Friday morning as the team is going through a walkthrough session right now on the football field adjacent to us? What's your cause of concern here? 2 days out.
2 days out. The practice report came out on Thursday, and it had Caelen Carson listed with a knee. They listed him full, but that brought up, in my mind, and we don't know the severity of it, and we probably won't find out until Saturday because the walkthrough, I'm sure he could walk through today, is, and I've always been thinking about this, after the Duran Bland injury, your fourth corner is now top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who's the fourth corner if somebody gets hurt in a game?
Right.
And this brings that to light because the only 2 corners then on the roster left over are Israel Mukwamu and Booth.
Okay.
Andrew Booth.
Andrew Booth. So,
McQuamu's been there before.
but he was playing safety until they moved him back to corner this year, and he was
And
really
he's been playing
in
in the slot.
So
This preseason, he was in the preseason games. He was basically playing a slot corner position.
Which is where he would be playing if they were to.
And so Jordan Lewis is your slot corner, and
Right.
so now has the ability to play outside, but he's your slot. Now it's almost like
you don't want to move 2 things to
Right.
fix one.
Right.
Well, you could. I mean, if you're talking about 3 receiver going against a 3 receiver,
But he has-
But the
played
player that's been
outside.
trained outside has been Andrew Booth.
Yeah.
Right. And
typically
I
for
don't know
one
what
game.
you guys thought about him in the preseason.
There were a couple of plays that stick out.
Got you to go, ugh.
I wasn't expecting that one. That's a good one.
Well, they were long. They were long.
It was Semi Fehoko down the sideline.
They were long touchdown passes.
Well,
right?
one was a touchdown pass. The
that's
other
right.
was he was.
Well,
caught
guys,
him
I
at the
mean,
10-yard line.
Got beat
DBs,
deep.
they can be interchangeable parts, man. It's not. I wouldn't really lose sleep over that because Ikwamu, I hope I'm saying his name right. He can move from inside to outside easily if they needed a veteran with more experience.
Right.
So it wouldn't be a big deal. You know, he didn't forget how to play corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just, he's been expanding himself.
But they didn't put him back on corner till this year because he'd been at
Still
safety.
still the same thing. Still
All
the
right.
same thing.
Well, that one kind
And that's lesser of the evils I'm talking about.
right.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
But that caught my eye.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. The other one that has always been a concern for the Cowboys is who's your backup swing tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's Awesome Richards. And he didn't play all that. Usually you like a veteran guy there.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was they thought they had Chuma, and then he's out.
Going
till
back to the
Thanksgiving.
DB, what happened to Carson?
He tweaked his knee.
He had a knee injury, and apparently it must have been
Yesterday?
Yes.
He was listed as a full participant on the practice report, but he was added to the practice report with a knee injury,
So
which
that must
which
have
you
been
assume it was
so
either
late in
towards the end of practice.
Doing the
Was,
competitive, remember they kept talking about doing the competitive
Well,
part
it
of
was
practice?
probably. I mean, I don't
it, was,
know.
it was deep enough in practice where they still listed him as a full participant.
right.
So
Yeah.
Well, if you recall, we were worried about Diggs making it through that competitive part of practice.
Right.
And now we're looking at Carson, who's having an issue. So I guess Diggs is okay so far.
And we don't know the extent of Carson's issues.
yeah, I get that.
It was
I get
enough.
that.
Yeah,
I get
it was
that.
enough to put him on the practice report.
So the only other person that didn't practice was John Stevens, and it looks like he's probably out. Which I still say they're going to have a hard time cutting that roster to 46.
Yeah, the other thing, real quick, the other thing about the cornerback situation, because in this day and time in the NFL, you see it every week where guys get elevated from the practice squad. There are a couple of corners on the practice squad. If there was an issue at cornerback where you've got Josh Butler and Keemon Hall who are on the practice squad.
And that other guy too,
You want to say his name?
Amani.
Amani Oruwariye.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy.
A lot of R's.
I just have to
There's a lot of R's.
I think I got that. I think I may have gotten that right. Oruwariye.
A lot of U's and R's.
I just
eh?
have
He's
to
from
type
Penn
it.
State.
I don't have to say
He was
it.
a fifth-round draft pick in 2019.
He's invaluable.
of
That's
the
right.
Lions.
That's right.
And was most recently with Jacksonville, in camp with Jacksonville. And he was added to the Cowboys practice squad, so he was cut by Jacksonville.
So, I mean, right away, that says, depending on the confidence, he can play through it.
Yeah.
But you might want to bring up another corner, or at least somebody that's played in the league.
You know
at
who
corner.
the place that Amani Oruwariye took on this roster? Noah Igbenogany. who's now with Washington. The Cowboys
say
always
that
have to say it.
Say that two
have
times
to have
fast.
a cornerback named Oruwariye or Igbenogany.
Say that 2 times fast. Not 3.
Just thank God there aren't both on the same
Oh my God.
team.
You think spell check will take you care of that?
Could you imagine if both of them emerged on the same play on the ball down the field?
There's I can tell you this, there's plenty of vowels there. You don't have to buy a vowel. Okay, so then your tight ends that are going to be up are obviously your starter, Jake Ferguson, and your backup, Schoonmaker.
And Spawn Ford.
Okay.
That's kind of the way I think and that might have been the way it was going regardless of his hamstring.
3 out of the 4 would be up.
Because
I know I'm late on the trigger. What about McEwen? He's gone?
He's gone.
He wasn't here.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I don't think he got.
No, he's up. He
got
got picked up, and I can't remember what team he's on a practice squad somewhere right now.
Not in Washington.
The thing with those tight ends, they go. If you follow the tight end, it's almost like the kicker caravan where they work out every Tuesday when teams have problems with the kicking game. Tight ends get picked up all over the place. I mean, I forgot. McEwen was here, and then one week he was on the practice squad. He got picked up by the Texans or something, and then the next week he was back here. I mean, that stuff happens with tight ends all the time.
They are very useful.
And somebody did pick up Hendershot too, right? They
Kansas City.
They traded him.
He got traded to Kansas City.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they keep him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They got some tight ends on that team.
He got in a scuffle with Roquan Smith on the sidelines last night. Did you see that?
I did not, Producer Supreme.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
I guess he went flying out. It's when Smith hit McCombs out of bounds, and they got into a shoving match.
Right.
Okay.
So
that was
I guess
Hendershot.
it was Hendershot, and I guess Smith said something after the game at his press conference. I didn't get to catch it, but someone said he was saying something.
So he not only was with the Chiefs, but he was suited up for the game.
No, he was in street clothes.
He was in street clothes.
And shoving Roquan.
He's street clothes.
Yeah. Getting in the game that way.
Okay. All right. Very good.
And they also picked up Eric Scott and put him on the.
Yeah, now he's on the practice squad.
Cut him and then put him on the practice squad.
So, all right.
And McKeon's with the Colts, by the way.
Now, okay, McEwen is with the Colts. Thanks for that update, Producer Supreme, and keep tracking that if there's any breaking news as we go along here in the next 25 minutes
Keep
or so.
an ear out for Mike McCarthy at 12:30.
That's right. Mike McCarthy has a conference call with the media at 12:30. Any update that we get there, we'll pass along as well, as we're just getting started on Mick Shots for a fabulous Football Friday.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says...
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to Mick Shots.
And go.
Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Give NFL fans an experience of a lifetime the day prior to the Dallas Cowboys home games on September 14th. Enjoy activities at Miller Lite House, get behind-the-scenes tour of AT&T Stadium, and more. Visit attstadium.com/rallydays for more information and to get your tickets today.
Okay, big football weekend, and we've got football tonight. It's Philadelphia playing Green Bay down
playing for their
Brazil.
lives. Trying to get out of Brazil. Stay out of the streets, guys.
Emerson's always quick to point that out. And then a full slate of games on Sunday. Cowboys-Browns at 3:25. The Sunday night game, by the way, has the Rams playing the Lions in Detroit, a rematch of the playoff matchup last year. And then the Monday night game has Aaron Rodgers and the Jets going to San Francisco to play the 49ers.
So, did Matthew Stafford play in the scrimmage at all versus the Cowboys?
Yes, the joint practice. Yeah.
Although I think was that the second one he strained the calf muscle or something. I'm trying to remember Stafford.
Yep, perhaps.
How did Dak do in that?
They performed well. Mm-hmm. That's why I keep saying they ran the ball pretty decently against the Rams, and the Rams had their guys out there.
Yeah.
But now, how much can you really tell about them? How they run the ball when they're not tackling?
If there's a hole,
okay, all right.
And if you're hitting it. Now, the tackling's another deal. But it's almost like they're not touching up. They're what they call thumping. Try to act like you're getting ready to tackle the guy. But if you're getting through a hole, you're getting through a hole.
The linemen, no, they're going at it.
Yeah.
And if there's a hole created there, whatever you're wearing, it was a legitimate hole. Right.
Because I was going to say, did Baltimore get $13 million worth out of Derrick Henry last night?
Man.
The touchdown he scored, you could have ran through it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, as far as the run game goes, which running back is going to have the most yards from scrimmage in this game, Zeke or Rico? And I'm talking including running the football and receiving.
Oh, and receiving.
Yards from scrimmage. Which running back will have the most in this game?
Yeah, that changes things.
Because I was going to say Zeke.
I was. But
Zeke does catch the ball out of the backfield, though, too. So,
he does.
51 catches for New England last year.
I got to say, when their last year together, for some reason, they could not connect. I don't know what was going on. It seemed like, hey, this is just a simple play, and it always seemed as if Zeke was compromised and trying to catch the ball.
Or maybe it was because Pollard was the guy,
in that situation, the guy that you want to get open in space. You want to get him open in space.
Right. So they didn't get as much work done on it as they could have.
Because Zeke was usually a check down after checking to see if there was a blitz coming or not. That's true.
And I wonder, there's going to be some two-back stuff going on too. But I don't know if it'll be Rico, Zeke, or the fullback in there as the second back.
Rico. I would say Rico as far as you're talking about yards from
so
scrimmage.
you say Rico will have more yards from scrimmage, and you say
I'm going with Zeke.
Okay, there
just
you go.
From running the ball.
Okay. And so I'll go one step further against this Cleveland defense. How many will that be? How many yards will that be for the leading ball carrier?
You can talk about running the game all you want. Having Zeke in there gives me a little bit more comfort when it comes to protecting your quarterback.
We know that he can do it.
Right. We know that. And that might be more important than the running game.
And I think Rico's gotten better at it, but, Zeke. And you never know. You'll see some one-back with Lipke.
Stop.
You'll see some one-back with Cavante, maybe.
Yes.
How about that?
CD?
With CD.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or they may ease him in since he hasn't had much work yet.
Yeah, but the running play to CD is more simple. It's an easier way to get his hands on the ball.
It's a shorter handoff.
Handoff. You don't have to worry about fussing going to the sideline because you threw it behind me or too low. No, that would be a good idea to actually get the ball in his hands early, is to put him in the backfield. Yeah. Bring him for, to go in motion and hand it to him.
Jimmy's line about, remember James Dixon?
Yes, number 86.
He could run forever down the field.
That's correct.
But hands were kind of set.
Alexander Wrightish.
And Jimmy one day said, sometimes it's safer to hand the ball to James than throw it to him.
He was fast. He was real fast.
Well, the Arizona game, remember?
That's right.
The one you screwed up.
I know, my bad. I was out there talking with the enemy.
Yeah, you weren't talking. You were fraternizing.
I had to hesitate when he said that. Like, is that an insult? Let me think about this before I charge him.
Were you in a fraternity?
No, okay. I was not. I was not in a fraternity, no.
And you don't need to ask me that either.
Contracts are getting done all around the league, by the way. This morning, there is a new highest-paid cornerback in the NFL.
Yes. Miami?
That would no.
I was going to say Surtain.
Yeah, right, Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. On the heels, it was Surtain for a day.
Yeah.
And now it's Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, no, I heard Ramsey.
Really?
Yeah. Jalen Ramsey, Dolphins and Jalen Ramsey, 3 years, $72 million. Its highest paid as in average per year. Finally, the cornerbacks are starting to. They're starting to pay attention to the cornerbacks.
Did it say how much is guaranteed?
Well,
probably not.
And he's a serious veteran. I'm surprised they're paying him that much money at this point in his career.
I guarantee you, there's not a lot of guarantees.
You know how old he is? It was the same draft that Dak came out and Zeke came out.
I was going to say
2016. Remember, there was the decision was to be made on, okay, do you take the running back Zeke or do you take the cornerback Jalen Ramsey with the fourth pick?
What is it, 30?
So he's probably 29 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's still good. Still
31.
Still in his prime.
Could be.
Still in his prime.
In the case of Dak. Yeah.
So is Diggs going to hold out because now he's not the highest paid?
Right. And that's the thing. What was Diggs was like 5 years, $100 million, and then all of a sudden in a year's time, now the Surtain one was 4 years, $96 million.
Yeah.
So there was a full year difference, and that's how pricing is going these days.
That's kind of what happens, right? You can't. You got to be happy with your contract, and then you did.
And however you frame it and put it, the optics is what you want. That's what you want. You just want it to look good.
Remember when I told you the Pat Summerall story? We were at lunch with our little group, and Greg Ellis wasn't happy with his contract because he signed like a 6-year deal or something. and then when everybody else started getting paid, his was like he's not getting much, right? And he wasn't happy. And Summerall said something about, so what's up with Greg? Why is he, because somebody just got a huge raise at a defensive end. And I said something like, well, the contract he signed 4 years ago. Now everybody's getting paid. He came around too soon. And Summerall in his imitable voice goes, we all came around too soon.
You made him contemplate. Like, that's a deep response.
Which is right.
Breaking news out of Cleveland, and this is not unexpected, but the Browns have now officially ruled out Jedrick Wills, their left tackle.
Wilkes.
Jack Conklin, who is projected perhaps to be starting at left tackle, is listed as questionable.
Oh.
We got to take advantage of this.
James Hudson III.
There you go. All right, we got our picks to click for the first time in 2024 when we come back on Mix Shots in a moment.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 cows and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole made with real Hass avocados will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to Mick Shots.
Come shop at the Star in Frisco on Saturday, September 28th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Freestyle Market at the Star, presented by Maker Place by Michaels, featuring 50-plus local makers offering art, fashion, home decor, jewelry, and kids' items. Please market the Star is always a favorite. Admission is free. Visit thestardistrict.com for more info.
What day is that? This Saturday or next Saturday? Does it say?
The 28th. Saturday the 28th.
Oh, that's
September
3
28th.
weeks from tomorrow.
10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Freestyle Market.
Because we'll be there next weekend.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so y'all have an appearance?
We do.
Okay.
Star Sports Tours.
Come on, man. You didn't know? Well, how dare you not? That's like the highlight of everyone's career when it's part of the package.
So you got 2 straight weeks of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because you got the next week, the Saints are here, and then the week after that, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens
And we are just a plethora
And then
of information.
What's the week after that?
It's a Thursday game at the Giants.
Yep.
They don't usually have a reception for the Giants.
Okay. All right. So that gets you up to speed on what's ahead. But what's immediately ahead for this team is a trip to Cleveland to take on the Browns on Sunday. And now it is time to make our picks to click in this game. And who wins this game at 3:25 on Sunday? I know Everson has done a whole lot of homework.
Whole lot of homework.
That's right.
Been talking a lot of trash.
Yep. And Everson?
So that means you want me to go first?
I think you're the one to go first, I think.
Man,
Tell us what's going to happen in this game.
You know, before we go, I have to brag about last year.
Oh, he pulls his phone out. He's got his phone out. He's been saving this for 7-8 months. Okay, apparently someone was keeping track.
I ended on a roll, man. I ended on a roll.
Now, if
man.
Savannah came up with this, I trust her.
I'm sure you guys don't remember. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I can tell you anything right now. But at this point, I'm looking at the Cowboys in a heck of a matchup. You know, when you look at the problems that both teams are having and the successes that we expect to have, both teams are almost mirroring each other, except for the quarterback position. Unless Deshaun Watson has gotten it together over the offseason, I look for us to really offensively show what we can still do. We still have the talent. I don't know about the offensive line, but we still have the talent on offense. Have to be careful, though. These defensive backs are going to jump our timing routes whenever they get a chance because they always have close coverage. So I'm looking at the Cowboys to overcome 30-26. I look for the player pick to click is going to be Dak Prescott. I'm looking at him to have at least 2 touchdowns and almost 300 yards.
Well,
Okay. Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
Okay. Is he going to click in more ways than one? Will his checking account click too?
That
What do you think?
That may have a lot to do with his outcome.
Okay.
That's right, and his output.
So you think it's going to? Okay. Do you think it's going to happen?
I think it's going to happen.
Before kickoff,
playing carefree.
There will be a new Dak deal.
Come on, you know how it goes around here. As soon as we sign off the air, it's going to happen.
So you're predicting it'll happen today.
Today, that's right.
It'll happen as soon as I finish my column. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Okay, we'll save that for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mickey, your turn.
I am thinking that these defenses, well, Cleveland's defense, and I'm not sure where Deshaun Watson is in his effectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say the Cowboys 23-20.
Why are you laughing? What's going on?
Yeah, what was funny about that?
Funny?
I got to come up with a different score. I literally have to come up with a different score now.
We could both be
We can
right.
share the same score?
We
okay.
could both be right, right? And
more likely we'll both be wrong.
My pick to click is going to be Trayvon Diggs. Just watch.
Okay.
He performed well in that second scrimmage against the Rams. Jumped a couple routes. And
got some inside knowledge here.
That's right. And I'm going to go with Diggs.
Okay. Going to pick off Deshaun Watson.
At least once.
At least once.
Yes.
All right. And the Dak deal will not get done, in your opinion.
I'm skeptical.
Okay. All right. And this is not a good matchup for the Cowboys.
Okay.
When you look at two rookies starting on the offensive line, and you've got Myles Garrett. By the way, I was just looking up yesterday. Myles Garrett, just to give you an idea of the athleticism of this guy, okay? Myles Garrett at 6'4", 272 pounds. Going back to my combine numbers, Everson, he ran a 4.64.
And that's wrong to be 6'4", 272 and move like he
and
does.
4.64. All right, 41 vertical. A 41 vertical and a 10.9 broad jump, nearly 11-foot broad jump, standing broad jump. And he had 33 bench reps, okay? 33 bench reps of 225 pounds.
Offensive linemen don't do that.
That's right. And in
he's
scouting,
he's got no body fat.
Those are
body fat. He just
those are the explosion numbers right
Yeah.
there. And there are scouts who, if you add up those three numbers, 41 vertical, so it's 11-foot broad jump, so that's 52 points, and 33 bench reps, that's 85 points of the explosion number. Okay, that is through the roof. Rare will you find any human being who has those kind of explosion numbers. On the Browns team that tied in, David Njoku is another guy who ran a 4.64 at 246 pounds, but 26 pounds less than Garrett. He had a 40 vertical, 1 inch less than Myles, and he had an 11-foot broad jump. So, okay, there's 51 points there. Well, he had 21 bench reps, which brings him to 72. 72 is a great explosion number. Myles Garrett blew the top off of that with an 85. Okay,
Right.
So that's one of the guys out of – there's several other guys on that Cleveland defensive line that it's just not a good matchup for two rookies making their first start in the NFL.
All right.
So having said all that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Spags is
Somehow,
waiting. He's patiently waiting.
Somehow, some way, the Cowboys are going to win this game 23-20. And we're going to talk about Tyler Guyton played a really good game. Cooper Beebe played a really good game. That we'll be talking about that, okay?
Because they're going to have to.
Yes.
And
for it to happen, they have to play really good games.
And the Cowboys are going to be smart about where they place their tight ends on the line of scrimmage.
And the pick to click. The pick to click, making his return to the great state of Ohio,
Yes.
Ezekiel Elliott is the pick to click in this game.
Okay.
Actually,
now the bar is set. The bar is set low.
Okay,
what would be? Okay, we got to set this for me to be right on this. How many rushing yards does Zeke need to have? How many total yards from scrimmage for it to be a pick to click?
Rushing yards got to have at least 70 yards.
Okay, 70 yards.
At least 70
So he's going to
yards.
have at least 70 yards and over 100 total.
Okay.
Right?
I'd give him 95.
And at least
95 would be good.
At least one touchdown.
Yes,
okay.
he's got
all
one
right,
touchdown.
so that's the standard.
That was
for me to win. Zeke Elliott has to reach those numbers.
That was my second choice. I was going to take Zeke because I think he's going to surprise people.
Yep, I think.
That offensive line better surprise people then.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right.
Because he wouldn't surprise me. Those numbers, because I saw him do yeoman's work last year, and that was tough work in New England. That was only a professional would do the work that he did in New England, considering the circumstances what he was under.
Yeah,
tough times.
That's right. Okay, that does it. And Grambling's got Tuskegee.
Yeah.
And that's a win, right?
That's right.
Okay. Mickey, I think Mizzou's.
We're going to win the Battle of the Bands, and we're going to kick the butt.
There you go.
All right.
And they're at Eddie Robinson Stadium on Saturday night, I think.
Mizzou has
Buffalo.
The
Buffalo Bulls.
The Buffalo Bulls.
Yeah. And so that's a win for
Oklahoma.
what? So Missouri's ranked like in the top 10, aren't they?
They were
12?
ninth, I believe.
Ninth, okay.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma
Damn,
plays.
y'all ranked that high?
They
Yes,
started
they are.
11th, and then Florida State got beat, and who else got beat?
They got one of the best wide receivers in the country, right?
Yeah. Luther Burden.
There you go. All right. And
Watch
OU
out for this kid.
plays Houston, and that's tomorrow night on the SEC network. We're on the
how
SEC
about
network.
that?
That should be
about
easy,
that?
bro.
But the game of the
Houston
week.
did not look good last week.
Yeah. It better be an easy game because
It
there's a
better
lot
be.
of tough games in
Yeah,
our
man.
future.
Golly.
But the game of the week at 11 a.m. tomorrow. The Texas Longhorns head to the Big House to take on the
that's
Michigan
right.
Wolverines.
You know my brother's going to be there. He's a UT
yeah?
alum. He's a UT alum. Yeah, he's going to be there. He already told me he'll be at the Big House.
Is your cousin going to be there?
Herky?
Yeah.
Herky's in Orlando.
Okay.
Preaching the word.
Oh, okay.
He preaching the word.
Herky Walls.
Herky
I
Walls.
think there's some people covering the Cowboys that are making the trip to the Big House and then go to Cleveland.
Okay.
Can't be that
easy.
far
It's right.
away,
It's right
right?
there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Everything up there is close together.
But they got to go.
Not like
they're
Texas.
not going on the charter.
No.
They're going up early.
The outside media.
Yeah. All right. And so I got Texas winning that game. You got Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
From what I saw.
Texas going to win at Michigan.
From Michigan?
Okay. All right. And we'll be back to review it all on Monday at high noon right here on Mick Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!